on Kenosha in the 800 block. We were out in the backyard. My father came and had us to come in because the bullets were falling out in the backyard. Fellow friend of his, a white man named Sandy McMullen, came over to our home and got the family and took them out to his house. He's lived way out on the outskirts of town. I guess that would be, I imagine, somewhere in the vicinity where the new Booker T. Washington School is now, back in that vicinity. And we stayed there until after this was all over with. When we came back, nothing but the ground. Home burned down, everything, nothing left.
And you told me about Booker T. Washington School. Tell me where it was located and how it was used as a center.
Booker T. Washington School at that time was on Eastern Street. I don't know, it was between Greenwood and whatever that street is going back, Detroit, I think it was. And they took the injured men, that's what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
They took the injured men there, made it, in fact, set up a place just like a hospital. And there we cared for the injured. Volunteer help went in to help the doctors and whatever they had to do, you know, like helping them with the bathing and the medications and things of that concern. And the place was, I couldn't say just how many men, but it was full. They had set up in two sections. One section was, I guess you would call that the, let's see, this side would be the east side, yeah. It was the east section they had to set up, and then they had it set up on the west section. And just cots, it wasn't beds, it was just those army cots. That's what the men were laying on. And it was any number of them brought in there for where they'd been shot and things like that, or beat.
Now you were a young girl and you volunteered. What kind of things did you do?
And help.
What,
So
you bathe them and help with the medication?
Well, they wouldn't let us bathe
Oh.
them.
Well, what did you do? What did you do?
We'll give them water,
Oh.
get their clothes and take into them, help them with their feeding, things like that. But no, we didn't.
Okay.
We didn't do that because the doctors and the nurses done that. Because see, the girls, they wouldn't let us do that.
Oh, I see.
How
Did some of them die? Did they take them to the morgues, or what did you do?
Well, they would take them out another direction so we wouldn't see them.
Oh.
They would have us to go back, you know, in one section of this place where they had set up, and they would take the dead out another way. So we couldn't tell how many went out to that was dead, but some did survive, we know that. Because some were shot in the arms and they had legs and bound up and things of that concern.
Tell me about after the riot. Did you, you had to, your house you said was burned to the
It
ground.
was burned to the ground.
How did you all rebuild, or what did you do after the riot?
Well, after the riot, they gave everyone tents, you know, to live in. That's what they were supposed to have to live in. My father took one, and he built a floor, you know, got wood and made a floor in ours because he said he wouldn't have us on the ground. But by coming up near, you know, going, he knew that that was my finishing year for school. And we just stayed there until time in August. And in August, we left and went to Oklahoma City, where I went to finish my high school education. That was at Douglas High School. So we didn't spend the winter in the hot, because some of them, it was hard, I imagine, in those tents. But my father was determined that we would not live in a tent, you know.